We are a group, a research group, interdisciplinary group, studying archaeoacoustics. Because archaeoacoustics are very complicated field. I think that it's necessary to have different competence. For example, she is an architect. I am a medical doctor studying the effect of the variation of some ancient sites on the brain. Because the ancient people knows that in some sites, respect other sites, they were able to go more easily in an altered state of mind during prayer or during meditation. So we can start with this stone circle. Stone circle that is in Tuscany here is fortunately not well known because during the centuries the church, the Catholic Church, destroyed all these pagan monuments. There are only two in Italy. This is one, this is already, but if you want to start.
Good morning, we speak Poggio Rota in Tuscany. Poggio Rota is the name of a complex of 10 megaliths carved into block of tuff. The name of this site is derived from its location near the village of Cividale in Tuscany on a bend of the river Fiora. This enigmatic structure probably dates back to the Rinaldonian period in Tuscany, around 3rd millennium before Christ. The Rinaldonian civilization preceding the Etruscan civilization, and they had the great skills in working the stone, in hydraulic works and management of water at the service of crops. The 10 megaliths of Poggio Rota were carved from volcanic rock, separated by narrow spaces through which the sun's rays could pass. According to archaeoastronomy experts, the Poggio Rota complex was built for the observation of the sun and the stars. Here, the sun's rays are visible through the season from the summer to the winter solstice. Poggio Rota Stone Circle is the only existing monument of this kind in good condition in Italy. Poggio Rota was discovered in recent times by an Italian researcher, Giovanni Feo, an expert of the Etruscan civilization. The study conducted on the site, involving archaeologists from the University of Milan, assumed that the megaliths of Poggio Rota were built towards the middle of the 3rd millennium before Christ by the Rinaldone civilization. The scholar of this site observed that during the summer solstice, the sun at the sunset rests on the central monolith of the complex and then goes to settle on the depression offered by the skyline. During the autumnal equinox, thanks to the roundness at the base of some of the monoliths, it was possible to observe the announcement of the sunset about an hour before, due to the way the light beams strike the ground. At the winter solstice, in a small tank dug into a lower megalith, it is possible to observe the sun reflecting in the water. External level, a large thick circle carved in the rock, also aligned to the equinox. Our research group, SBRG, an interdisciplinary team of research from Europe, has demonstrated the existence of a relationship between mechanical vibration induced by natural phenomena and brain activity. Whereas we have also demonstrated that some resonance frequency can have a strong effect on the human brain, and in particular frequency between 8 and 120 Hz. After studying about 50 ancient sites in Europe, using technology to detect natural and induced vibrations, we can say that there are natural phenomena present which somehow enhances the mystical feel of the place. Both natural occurring and man-made resonances could be used to enhance ritual in many sacred sites. So we decided to analyze these ancient structures using an archaeoacoustic approach, because it was only considered to be an ancient astronomical observatory. Our supposition is that it could have served a dual purpose, as a mystical temple and as an observatory, as these two aspects were often connected in the past.
Yes, I think you understood that it's very important to connect the humanity with these structures. So, what's the meaning of this? The ancient people were very connected with the natural phenomena. But also they created some frequency of resonance by their structure for changing the state of mind. They say, oh, I like this place, I want to build a temple here. It's not sufficient. The difference, the very important difference, was that they understood that in that site it was easier to find a better meditation or a better prayer than in another. And in that place they built that temple. The question was why they placed, instead of the circle, the megaliths in those dispositions. The first interpretation is for understanding better the sky, the position of the universe, the position of the sun, the equinox. But we found in all Europe and in Asia another important purpose, and we can consider it like mystical places. So they created the possibility to use these sites as temples. For material method, we used other digital recorders of high end, with high end microphones too. And for avoiding if there are mobiles or radio station, we analyze before recording with a spectrum analyzer all the field, all the site. Next, please. But for creating the same situation, we use also the drum. The drum is a more ancient instrument all over the world. And probably in the 3rd millennium before Christ, they used this for increasing the aspects of the ritual. We use very simple, for analyzing, we use very simple, not simple, very good, very and science programs for analyzing sound. All open source, because it's important for the university to use open source programs. Please. What's the result? This site has not a particular frequency coming from below. Normally, the mystical sites have some vibration, especially low frequency, infrasounds in particular, who change the state of mind, passing directly to the brain without passing through the ears. But we didn't find anything really interesting. Yes, there are a large spectrum of low frequency, but not so particular. For example, we find in other places, in Epidaurus, in Greece, in Göbekli Tepe, in Turkey, or in Alemanderes, in Portugal. Here we didn't find really interesting one, but using the drum, we discovered a particular resonance in the spectrum of frequency who changed the state of mind. We tested this aspect also in our University of Trieste, because we gave to 10 volunteers this frequency, and we discovered that between 80 and 120, you can change the state of mind. You open some parts of your brain and close other using the EEG. In this case, in this stone circle, we found this important 90 Hertz frequency or response. So, probably the ancient civilization knew this and placed the megaliths for finding the best resonance inside the stone circle. Please go on. We found a similar frequency, 94 Hertz, in another hypogeum in the northeast of Italy, in Cividale del Friuli, it's northeast of Italy. But we found a similar situation in Malta, in the hypogeum of Valle. That is a most ancient hypogeum, I think, all over the world. But for Europe, for sure, 4,000 years before Christ. So it's possible that those civilizations have an exchange of technology, of knowledge. Go on, please. But we found another thing, important thing. Who stay too long in that place takes a lot of radiations, because it's a volcanic rock full of radiation. Probably those civilizations didn't know the fact, but there are no other settlements around, so probably they understood that it was very dangerous to stay too long in this place, because normally 1.77 microsievert is like to take, to stay close to a power plant, a nuclear power plant. Also around, you can go home. Yeah. Around the site, the radioactivity is less, but is over the limit. It's over the limit of tolerability. Go on, please. What's what we can say about this? Because we found the same situation in distant ancient sites in Europe, it's possible that this civilization had contacts. They traveled. You cannot think that a civilization remained only in that place. They had an exchange. So, So this circuit use was very common in the period. We cannot think about those civilizations as how can I say, ignorant civilization. They had some technology we lost. We lost, in particular in that period. For example, Hasavieli was built 4,000 years before Christ. It was abandoned in 2050, 500 years before Christ. Why? Because arrived another civilization who killed all, and the technology was lost. They used the Hypogeum only as a cemetery. And they didn't understand how important was this resonance for changing the state of mind. Okay, this is the stone circle, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you for your attention.
Yeah.
So this is Cromlech, right?
Okay.
Is this Cromlech?
Yes.
Cromlech.
Cromlech is okay.
Yeah, yeah. And how
No,
high?
perfect.
Hawaii, from 3 to 4 meters tall. It's very big. It's very they are very similar on the Cromlech we found in Portugal. We found in Portugal. This civilization was before the invasion of 2000 before Christ from Indo-European civilization. So, for Etruscan, something was taken by Roman, but there are little sites like this, because the Catholic Church destroyed totally these monuments because they were pagan. They were not accepted. For example, when we went in Portugal, we found a fantastic monument transformed in church. Normally, what happened? You have a sacred site with particular phenomena. You have the Neolithic site, after you have Etruscan site, after you have Roman site, and after you have a Catholic Church. But this site remains the same. So if you go for measuring the phenomena, you find a lot of things, like 3,000 years ago.
So cultural layers, and it was written in one article, I don't remember exactly the name, that the place was accepted as energetic.
Yes, energetic.
And that is the reason why every new religion prefers.
Yes, percent. Because the natural phenomena is normally from underground water, the movement of underground water, or the movement of geologic fault, the friction between two geologic. But in this case, we didn't find any proof of this. But this phenomena was built by man, was man-made, placing the megaliths in the right position for having a good resonance.
Thank you.
But how they could know that?
What?
How they could know that? By perception. They didn't have any instruments.
No. Because I think they knew this. Because if you go in the south of England, the Neolithic monuments have the same frequency. There is an important group of research from Rinaldone who studied in Ireland and in southern England the temples, Neolithic temples. And they found this particularity from 80 hertz to 120 hertz. But we tested on volunteers, I told you before. And probably they knew by ear how frequency to set. They didn't have the technology for measuring exactly. So in this monument we can find 91, 94, 100, but always in the same range. So probably they did this one by here. So, but it's interesting because this ancient technology only now we use, but now we are using this technology for other reasons, as weapons in particular, as weapons. For example, 18 Earths are used as a non-lethal weapon. We use in Iraq, for example. But it's another.
Lunch break.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.